I low-key forgot to breathe during that time. You're like, be quiet. And I was like, okay. Take a deep breath and just don't even breathe. I forgot that be quiet and hold your breath were not synonymous terms. And that one does not immediately correlate with the other. That I can indeed breathe without speaking. Welcome to my brain.
Okay, hang on, wait.
Like, I can hear you.
You can hear me because you're a perfect angel baby, but I think now the podcast can hear me, so that's huge.
Well, thank you.
You're so
I
welcome.
love to be a perfect angel baby.
Well, you've always
That's like
been
my whole
one.
life goal. Stop. It'll go right to my head.
Well, I don't live with you anymore, so I'm not, like, worried about it going right to your head. Like, when we lived together, I could never tell you were a perfect angel baby because it would have blown back on literally me. But, now that's not my problem anymore.
Right? Head gets so big, explodes all over everybody. Yeah, now it'll just explode all over me.
Oh, yeah. When you watch this back later, you'll see that I have a new stream mug that I got from Rome on my honeymoon. I'm going to give you a little mug. The mug tour is going so poorly.
Oh, no.
Great. Perfect. Love it. Enjoy that later, Rye. It's all for you, baby.
I'm excited. I also have a beverage that I'm sporting today. It is Dunkin' Donuts refresher from this morning.
From this morning is a little cursed, my guy. Like, what?
It is completely watered down because I left it on the kitchen counter and then forgot about it all day. And then I remembered it like an hour ago.
Ew. I hate that for you.
And I've drank most of it. And it's pretty good, even though there's no more ice in it anymore. And usually it's not good by this time of day. But
it's pretty good, except for that it's warm and it's watered down and it's not at all what I hoped it would be. But it's great. It's fine.
No. Definitely not what I intended to order. But I'm the problem. It's me.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm the one who forgot it on the counter.
Yeah, that's all you, babe.
But I am very excited to see this mug from Rome. Does it have, like, a design on it? Or what?
Yeah, hang on. Let me send you a little...
For those of you listening, I can't actually see Callie, so I have to ask her about visual things.
I'm sending you a Snapchat. It is, okay, it's literal perfection. It's got I'm calling it like a little... It's like a little baby tile design. It's like a light blue, and quite honestly... she says she makes sounds as if she's seen it already, but I still haven't sent the snaps, whatever. So they came in a pack of 2, and it's part of Sam's thank you gift for watching my cats. It's just, how both of us feel the same way about like souvenir-y or like nerdy things. Like, I'm not interested in like logoed stuff from Rome. I'm just interested in like pretty stuff from Rome. That's this.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, I got one from Sienna, but it's very different.
Yeah. I got your snap. I'm looking at it right now. It is very perfect, and it is very you.
Right? It's so beautiful.
Just to make sure I have the color right here, that this picture is not destroyed in color. Is it blue or purple?
I'm calling it like exactly Bep blue. Like, I'm rocking a Bep blue mug at Holo Taco.
Beautiful. I have that on my toes right now.
Oh my goodness, I have Monstera on my fingers.
Oh my god!
We're so cute!
Look at us. Right? See, this is literal proof that we share one brain cell.
I know, it's a little brutal out here.
But perfect. I have an immediate visual. I can look right at my toes and see exactly what color that is. Oh, yeah. That's perfect. Yeah, that's very you.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
can't wait to see that in person.
It's
Is
beautiful.
the Sam thank you gift the same color, or is it a different one?
Hers is a navy.
Ooh, that's
Yes.
very Sam.
I agree.
Very Sam.
Her and I were talking about new artwork in her new apartment because I'm helping her like finish off the last of her decorating. And she currently has like a green blanket and my husband's old green futon. And I said, are we switching our color palette to green? Because if we're doing that, you know, art should reflect what we're switching our color palette to. And she's like, no, I just kind of like the blanket because it's comfy. I was like, okay, but like, let's talk about like, are we intending to like move more intentionally towards that kind of green earthy color palette, or do we just like a comfy blanket? She's like, no, I just like the comfy blanket. And I was like, well, do you think you could find a comfy blanket in a color that you would prefer? And she goes, yeah. I said, so then what color palette would you like to reflect in your home? And she goes, well, I have the green blanket and it's comfy. And I was like, did we not just, hey, if you're watching, Samantha Joe, like, hi, welcome to Not For You, where we're going to talk about the insane summer we've just had. If you're not me, Riley, or Sam, get out. But hey, Sam, hey, if it's you, text me right now. I just want to know that you know this. It doesn't have to be the color of the comfy thing just because you have a comfy thing. We can find you a comfy thing in a color you like.
Yes.
Please.
That's the moral of the conversation.
Like,
oh my gosh.
it was such a Sam convo. I loved it so much.
You what?
It was such a Sam convo. I loved it so much.
Right. I love that the accidental color shift is as a result of a comfy thing, because that is also very on brand for Sam.
100%. 100%. She's like, this thing is comfy. I don't like it, but it's comfy. And now I'm going to shape my whole life around it and then be confused when I don't like anything that I own. Like,
right.
We spent so much time, love breaking
her.
this habit. Can we just make sure that the habit stays broken?
Right. I love her so much.
Me too.
Oh my gosh.
I get to see her in a few weeks.
So
I'm
the
super
artwork
pumped.
in her house.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, do you? Are you going up to visit her?
She's coming to visit me. Actually, I think she's coming to visit somebody else, but she's staying at my house.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, she's like, I was thinking about going to Dubuque the last weekend of September. I was going to bring Oliver. Can I stay at the house? And I was like, yeah, sure. But, like, it's unclear to me if she has plans with somebody else. She just wants to stay at the house, or if, like, she's actually coming to see me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nevertheless.
Interesting.
Whatevs. Anyway.
So then did she figure out what kind of artwork she wants to replace in her house?
No, don't be silly.
Like, no. No, this is just a conversation that got started.
Well, I told her we would go shopping together. Like, you obviously haven't been in the new place yet. But she has a fireplace in her new apartment, and originally over the fireplace she was going to mount her television, but it would be like significantly higher on the wall, so her neck would always kind of be like craned upwards.
Yeah, that's no
and
good.
she kind of decided she didn't want to do that, but it's like kind of the only thing in her space that is now like open and bland, and the fireplace isn't really decoratable, you know, kind of like the inside of that. You could do like the fake candle thing and the fairy lights thing, but hers doesn't really lend itself to that. So there's no way to make the bottom part of the fireplace beautiful, and it doesn't have a mantle, so you can't even like add some interest there. You know, really your only way to kind of like tie this whole piece into the rest of the house and make it feel kind of like Sam is to put artwork above it. And so her and I have been chatting back and forth about ideas and what she wants to do and how she wants that to feel or look. And for a while we were kind of debating between, do we want one large piece of art over that fireplace to kind of tie everything in, or do we want kind of like a gallery situation? If we do a gallery situation, do we want it to be eclectic and a bunch of different sizes, or do we want, uniform sizes? And ultimately, the last time we talked, she's like, you know what? That whole room is kind of a gallery of different eclectic things kind of hung throughout, and I think it really needs like one big piece. So ultimately, we've decided we're going to have a very fun, beautiful, exciting Hobby Lobby time.
Oh, that'll be a lot of fun.
We're going to have a lot of fun, but beyond that, we haven't like discussed or talked about or planned kind of like what that's going to look like. I mean, I know what colors are in her other art, so I can assume what colors we're trying to like coordinate with. Unless we shift green, then all bets are off. But yeah, that's really...
then you're going to have quite an extensive Hobby Lobby trip.
Yeah, if we shift to green, like nothing else in her home matches anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a problem for later Sam. Or present Sam. I'm truly like, she has not listened to a single podcast that we've taken over since we've taken over like editing duties. But this will be the one she signs on to. And she's like, do you guys talk about my home in all of them? Like,
no.
No. Not at all.
No,
anyway.
only since your recent expressions of the comfy blanket.
It's just so funny. It was just like the perfect...
So cute.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's such a perfect conversation.
It's so funny.
If anybody who is listening doesn't know her, that is the conversation that you need to listen to know.
Yeah, one day Riley's going to get back to like editing highlights, and she's just going to turn this into a clip of like, if you ever wanted to know what life with Sam is like, here you go. It's just funny.
Oh, man.
Anyway, all right.
So good.
Let's get on task, girl.
Yes.
Hi.
We are talking about today. You already did our intro.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's finish the intro. Like, get out. It's not for you.
Exactly. Yes. So if you're new here, you haven't been to our channel. I don't know what brought you here because you didn't get an invitation. At least not from us. But welcome. If shenanigans and stories and just like day in the life chit chat is your cup of tea, then you are welcome to stay. But if not, we didn't invite you. This is a podcast for Callie and I to capture our 20-something memories so that years down the line we can look back at when we were young and silly and relive those memories that we had. And so today, in, honor of the theme of our entire podcast, today we are going to be doing a summer rewind and talking about a number of memories that we've made this summer. Again, if not your cup of tea,
get out.
There's the door. You can just get right on out. But if you want to stick around, grab yourself a cup of tea and hang out. It'll be a fun time. We got lots to, this was quite the summer. We've got lots to chat about today.
Oh my Lanta. I have narrowed down
especially. You've been...
I've narrowed down my extremely extensive summer into like 3 events I want to talk about, even though there were like 12 events this summer. How many events do you want to talk about?
Mm-hmm. I have 3.
Is one of them my wedding?
And they're not so much like specific. No.
Okay.
I left that off of my list because that I figured you maybe would want to talk about that. Wasn't 100% sure if you wanted to talk about your wedding.
I figured we could talk about that one together,
Right. Yeah. But I figured I wouldn't like put it on my list and be like, So Callie got married.
Oh, excuse me.
Just
Hello.
launch into this whole thing about that. So we can talk about that one together. But I figured that you might want that for your list, possibly.
Fair.
So, I narrowed mine down to 3 2. They aren't like one specific day or event, but they're like 3 things that happened this summer that are new and exciting and cool. Amazing. But I also narrowed my list down to 3.
Perfect. Sorry, excuse me. My oven is singing the song of its people. Can you hear it?
I was just gonna say I can hear something. Something's ready in the background. What are you making?
I know we've all really missed Callie's eating sounds on this podcast, but wow, the oven was just so loud. Also, Riley, when you watch this video later,
I'm really excited to listen to chewing.
I know. It's a soundscape I just want to start for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
When you watch this video later, you're going to be like, holy cats, Callie's hair is so long. Because I just looked at my own hair and was like, whoa, that's a lot of hair. Anyway, okay.
Oh, your hair has gotten so long.
I know. It's gotten longer since you've seen me last. It's cray-cray.
I know. Are you planning on cutting it?
I don't know. I don't know about my hair feelings. I don't know.
I'm surprised by that, honestly. You usually know your hair feelings, and you usually are like, gotta chop this right off.
No. I said I don't know my hair feelings until I know them. Like, I get bored, and then I make stuff happen.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay, anyway.
That's how this happened.
Tell me.
Anyway, do you need to go get something out of the oven?
Don't be insane. I have a husband. Get a husband. I highly recommend them. Anyway, not the point.
I'm working on it.
You're working on it. Riley's thing number 1 is that she has a boyfriend. Just kidding. I don't know.
No. Not even close.
All right. A girl can dream.
Anyway,
tell me your first thing, Riles.
A girl could dream. Okay, so this isn't really a thing that happened to me, but is exciting for the fam, my fam. Is that my brother moved to Chicago.
Oh, yeah!
That happened at the beginning of the summer. And he started working for a Major League Baseball team. And so that's been really, really fun because he now lives in one of my favorite cities in the world. And I get to live vicariously through him by visiting that city and staying down there and doing fun things. And now he lives there, so he knows where all the fun things are. So he moved down there in, I want to say May, but I really do think it was April. He was just home every single weekend between April and May with Easter and Mother's Day and May birthdays and then June birthdays and then vacations. So it was beginning of summer, late spring when he moved down there. I went down to help him move. He lives right on the lake, which is really, really cool. You can see Navy Pier from his apartment. So he gets to watch the Navy Pier fireworks, whenever they shoot fireworks up. So from his view, on the left is Navy Pier, the middle is the skyline, and then on the right is his work. You can see the baseball field. So super, super fun. I visited him a couple of times to help him move in, and then I've stayed down there with him, and we've gone to a couple of games and like explored downtown, and it's been really, really fun. He's coming back within the next couple of weekends, but we're going down in a couple of weeks, the fam, to stay with him and then catch a game and explore more downtown for the weekend. So it's been super, super fun. He likes it a lot. I like it a lot. Selfishly, I really like that he lives down there, and that we can visit and have fun and do stuff down there. But that's, I mean, like I said, didn't happen to me explicitly, but it's still a fun thing that the family now gets to do now that he lives down there, which is super, super cool.
Well, and you've made some really great memories through that. Like, thank you. Like, you guys went to the game
Exactly.
together.
Yeah, we went to a game together, and they won. That was the first time I'd ever been to that field, and we sat behind first base, and within like the first couple batters, I said to him, "We're not gonna catch any foul balls because we were sitting right behind first base, and there's this huge giant net." And I was so very wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The next hit, quite literally the next batter, comes up, hits a foul ball, and my brother catches it with his bare hand. It bounces off the seat next to me, bounces way up in the air, and is about to jump, like, hit me in the face. And he, like, reaches his hand right over and catches it. And I was like, I want $1 million. Can you catch that with your bare hand, please? So that was really, really fun. We've gotten to try a couple of the new restaurants down there.
Oh.
There was one that we went to that was really cool. We just like hung out in a lounge area up on the second floor of this restaurant. But from that lounge area, there's like a little balcony that overlooks the first floor. And along the wall is the biggest screen I've ever seen in my entire life. It wrapped around like the whole restaurant.
Wow.
And I thought it was just like a whole bunch of little TVs kind of like pressed right up against each other, but they were just one big situation. That was really bizarre. But yeah, really cool area, really fun to be able to go down and hang out with him and see where he's working and see the area that he's living in. He seems to really like it. So he's having a lot of fun making memories down there. So bizarre. Just honestly did not picture him as a city person. I always pictured him as a person who would have land and tractors and like be living in rural areas, and here he is 100%. Living in the city.
I know.
Loving it. Totally the opposite of what we all expected from him, but he really likes it. And I think he's planning on staying down there at least for a while. So yeah, super fun opportunity for me to make memories with him down there and for the family to make memories with him down there. And he's still close enough where he can drive. It's like an hour away from where we live, so he can still come back and visit and stay with either me or my parents whenever he wants. So yeah, super fun, cool thing that happened like really fast at the beginning of the summer. That was a he got the job and had to be down there in like 9 days kind of thing. So
that was such a whirlwind, but I'm so excited for that, like not only for you but for him too. Like I just have gotten to watch him grow over the last couple of years, and like I'm just so excited about this step in his life, you know?
Right? When I went and visited him, it was so funny watching him, like, he has his own little apartment, and, like, watching him just, like, talk about his routines and, like, where he goes shopping and, like, just watching him grow as an adult is really, really cool. Yeah. I'm super proud of him. He's doing great down there, and I'm really glad that he's found something that he likes to do. So
that makes my heart so happy.
And an area that he likes. Right? It's so good. All right. I'm passing it on to you. What's your first thing?
Okay. Before I talk about the first thing, I really want to chronicle for my future self the insanity that this summer was, so I never make this mistake again. All right? Here we go.
This summer was really just like nonstop for you.
I can't ever do this again, and that's why we have to chronicle this. On the first week of summer, my best friend became a priest. It was beautiful. I loved it. On the second week of summer, my brother-in-law became a priest. It was beautiful, and I loved it. On the third week of summer, I flew to California. because on the 4th week of summer, my childhood friend was getting married. It was beautiful. I loved it. But the 3rd week of summer is what I want to talk about, because we went on vacation in California, and I got to, like, for real this time, achieve my 6-year-old childhood dream. And I've been on this, like, journey the last couple of years to, like, acknowledge little baby Cal who lives in me and, like, give her the things that she needs to be happy, okay? And one of them was, like, I bought my house, and, like, little baby Cal didn't have a stable house and, like, never really felt safe anywhere, and buying my house was, like, being able to give her a safe place, okay? This is not that beautiful and meaningful. This is, little 6-year-old baby Cal learned that there were 2 Disney Worlds. But little 6-year-old baby Cal had only been to 1 Disney World. And I'm voraciously curious, so I had to know everything about the other Disney World. The amount of random things I can tell you about Disneyland is absurd, considering prior to the 3rd week of summer, I had only spent 12 hours there. Like, one time we went on vacation to California, and I bullied my mom into letting me go to Disneyland for 1 day. I only got to see half the park because we were only there for 1 day, so we went to Disneyland and not Disney California Adventure. So when we went this time, I reached out to my cousin, who is, like, legitimately an influencer, worked at Disney for a number of years as, like, a cast member in the parks. And I was like, okay, I'm going to Disneyland. How many days do I need? What do I do? What's the right answer? And she was like, you need 3 days. You're going to spend 2 days at Disneyland, and you're going to spend 1 day at Disney California Adventure, and it's going to be perfect, and it's going to be magical. She was 100% right. But, like, it was such a joy to get to experience this and, like, give this gift to, like, my little 6-year-old self. And I got to see Winnie the Pooh, and I got to see Eeyore and Tigger and all my friends, and I got to ride the Winnie the Pooh ride. And you know, like, Sleeping Beauty's castle, there's, like, a walkthrough. Like, you can go into the castle and, like, read and experience the different storybook things. One of my all-time favorite Disney rides that hasn't been around at Disney World for a really long time is Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. It's bizarre, it's dark, it's weird. I love it. We got to ride that twice. I got to see the new Toontown. Because in Disney World, they kind of just, like, Toontown, haven't heard of her. She's gone. But in Disneyland, like, they still have Mickey's house that you can walk through, and they still have Minnie's house that you can walk through, and they still have Donald's boat, but they turned it into a splash pad. And they made this new ride out of, like, ride technology that I've never been on before, and I'm an amusement park fanatic, much to the chagrin of my husband. But, like, the cars aren't connected to each other. It's not like a predetermined, I mean, it's predetermined, but it's kind of like magnets in the floor where cars can move independently of each other. It was so fun. I got to go to Star Wars Land, which, okay, space tag and me aren't super fun, but I did buy you that shirt from there. And I just thought about my friends and how much they would love it at that time. And
You did. I'm wearing it.
I know. I can see it. I know the shirt I bought you for your birthday. Hi, Tigger. Tiggers is arriving on the scene. He's trying to decide if he wants to be in his aunt's presence or not. He's going with no. But I got to go to Disney California Adventure, so I got to go to Cars Land.
Hello, Tiggy Wiggy. I had a dream about you last week.
Oh my goodness, about the Tiggers, you say?
About the Tiggers.
About the Tiggers. Sorry, I'm eating now. I got to go to Cars Land and ride Radiator Springs Racers. I got to ride the Incredicoaster. They were gluten-free cookies.
I know, I can hear it.
It was huge. I got to see the World of Color over Pixar Pier. And, like, I got to experience that with my mom, who was the first person who ever took me to Disney, but also with my husband, who had never been to Disney before. Like, these were his first Disney experiences. And, like, getting to see World of Color for the first time. Like, we were sitting and we were waiting, and there was this guy who worked there. Ron was his name. He's an angel from heaven. I asked him, like, where should we sit to have the best view? And he goes, this is my influencer spot. Like, when social media influencers come, they stand here. You should stand here. And did we get a little wet from the water. 100%. Did I cry literally the whole time because it was so beautiful and wonderful? 100%. It was so good. We had such a fun time, and like I said to my husband, like while we were sitting there, I was like crying for no reason, and he's like, why are you crying? And I was just like, little baby Cal, like, really wanted so few things. Like a place to feel safe that was hers, to go to Disneyland because she didn't know there were 2 Disney Worlds, like, and it just like feels so good to be able to like give her these gifts that like she wasn't able to receive or like make happen for herself. And it was just like this beautiful, beautiful experience of like getting to give my inner child the things that she like has always wanted. And I like came to the realization like this was my last like baby Cal gift, like this was the last thing that like she had really wanted. So it was exciting to get to give myself that gift this summer. And then I went to my friend's wedding, and it was beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was it. I'm gonna eat now. It's jalapeno poppers for dinner tonight, so sorry you're not here.
Awesome. That's really, really cool. I love that. I love that you had people in your life. What?
Nothing. We're on a lag.
Did you say you're having the jalapeno poppers for dinner tonight?
I am, yeah. Can I help you?
We are lagging? Oh no.
100%, girl. You're gonna listen to this later and be like, oh no.
No! I can hear you like right after you respond. Or like, it seems as if you're responding right away to me.
It's not.
No.
It's fine.
No. That's funny that you're having those jalapeno poppers because I was literally thinking about them today. This morning when I was meal prepping. Anyway, that's really cool that you got to experience that. I love that you had people in your life like your cousin, and then that guy who is an angel sent from heaven.
Ron.
The actual Disneyland who is able to like kind of help you map out this experience so that you were able to see all of the cool things and all of the like magical experiences at Disneyland. I'm so glad that you got to go. Now you've been to both. Baby Cal has seen both Disney World and Disneyland, and Baby Cal has met all of her childhood friends, Pooh and all of his friends. I love that you're on this journey. I guess this was your last Baby Cal gift, so you were on this journey to give Baby Cal all of those gifts that she wanted when she was a child. And now that you have given her all of these gifts, don't stop. Don't stop giving her gifts that she wanted, even no matter how small they are, because I love this journey of like healing your inner child and giving them the things that they weren't given back then, because you have ways to do that now, and now you can give yourself, adult Cal, new gifts. You can things that you want or things that you, I don't know, dream about are things that you can work towards. Not to quote Rapunzel, but you can make a new dream.
That was Disney. Perfect. I love that.
Disney, gotta go with the Disney theme. But that's awesome. That's so cool. I love that you got to go and spend not just one full day there, but you got to go 3 days and see lots of different things. The whole park.
It was really, really great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My mouth started watering when you said jalapeno poppers, by the way.
Sorry, BB.
A little salivating over here.
I've got a whole guest room for you now. It's like, I'm talking, it's 100% green. The sheets are in. They're linen. We've got a duvet and a duvet cover. We've got art hanging on the wall. Like, girl, you have a whole guest room when you want to come visit your nephews.
Now I can just show up. I can just show
100%.
up and sit on your couch uninvited and sleep in the guest room and eat all of your jalapenos.
We almost have some.
What?
Yeah. You 100% can. You can join Ryan in the office for work from home time.
Oh, incredible.
Oh, great.
Hang out with my nephews.
Yeah.
When I dropped Sam and Nick off at your house after the wedding on my way home, I want you to know, this is I'm totally derailing our conversation here, but I feel like it's important for you to know. The boys came up to see me, and Wiggy walked right up to me and rubbed all over my face.
Oh my goodness.
I could have just melted right there into your carpet.
You should have.
I was so excited, and he let me pet him. Girl, I love that boy. And Milo, of course, came and said hello to me too. I love that boy too. He always says hi to me, and Tiki never comes up and says hi. So I felt very, very proud and honored that he came over.
It takes Wiggles a minute. He's not always sure if he wants to be
Takes him
friends.
a minute. I'm glad that he trusts me enough to be his friend. Same with Milo. Milo will always be my little buddy. But Tiggy has finally approached me.
He will forget you by the next time you come, but yeah.
I know. But no, that's awesome. I remember you being on that California trip. I remember calling you and I was like, what are you up to today? And you were like, I'm in Disneyland. I was like, what?
I was like, I can't talk to you. See you never.
I was like, honestly, understandable. Go enjoy Disney. What are you doing talking to me? Go be in Disney. That is awesome. Oh, I'm glad you got to go and experience all those fun things. I hope you had a magical time.
It was magical.
Good. Good. All right. Should I talk about my next experience?
Give me thing two, baby.
Give me thing two. All right. Again, not like an explicit experience. There is a little backstory to it. But something that I don't think I've told you about this yet. Something that's new this summer is that I started singing with my uncle. So my uncle is in a band and he has been for years. I think since before I was born. Anyway, I went to a brewery to go see him sing because my other aunt and uncle, will go see him sing sometimes, and they invited my grandma, who invited me. So we went and saw him sing, and he came over to say hi to us, and my aunt was like, oh my gosh, do you know Riley sings? And I was like, and he goes, no, I had no idea that she sings. And she was like, oh yeah, she's a really great singer. And I was like, no. And he was like, do you want to sing? And I go, I guess. So I went up and I sang Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. And then afterwards, he and I had rehearsal, and then I've sung since then. So now I think it'll be not a regular thing, but a semi-regular thing. He's on a vacation right now. So I think we are going to meet up again after he gets back from vacation and learn a couple of other things. But yeah, I've been singing in public periodically around my hometown, which has been super, super fun.
You didn't invite me? I would make signs. I would cheer so loud.
You are always invited.
You didn't invite me!
I will let you know that. I will let you know the next time I'm doing it so that you can come.
It's
and
fine.
you know what
I
it
didn't
is.
want to be friends anymore either.
I want you to know, I was thinking about you the last time I sang because for those of you who don't know me, Callie has expressed to me that I have a great voice, but I don't know any words to any songs.
Sing the
I
Big
think
Rock
you can see
Candy
where this
Mountain
is
to me,
going,
Riley.
Callie. What?
Sing the Big Rock Candy Mountain to me. Sing El Tango de Roxanne.
No.
Sing any of the songs you sang to me
I
every
know El
day
Tango
in
de
college,
Roxanne.
but don't remember the words to.
The reason I bring this up, Callie, I hope you can see where this is going, is
You got
the
the words
last
wrong?
time I sang with my uncle, we had rehearsal. I received a copy of the lyrics of the song that
Which
I
you
was
didn't
going to be
read.
singing with him. No, I did. I have it sitting in my drawer over there. I practiced for hours
Likely story.
combined between the first time I sang with him and the second time I sang with him, and I get up to sing I think it was last weekend, maybe, I don't know, it was within the last couple of weekends,
I was home!
and I
would have
sang
made face
the wrong.
signs.
No, I sang the wrong words.
I would have printed out our podcast art, which you owe me a new one of, and I would have made it really big, and I would have drawn a creepy murder smiley face on it, and I would have put it on a paint stirrer. And I would have cheered.
Please do that.
Only if you make me a new one.
If I was doing it or not. I'll make you a new one so that you can print it out and bring it. But no, I totally sang the wrong words.
Perfect. I love that for me.
In the first verse, and I went over to my family after, and I was like, I sang the wrong words, and they were like, nobody noticed, and I was like, Callie would have noticed.
Callie would have noticed. 100%.
Could not think of any. I was like, when I was practicing, I was like, I'm gonna know all the words when I go up. I'm gonna know them all. I know the song. I've been listening to it since I was 10.
And?
I've been singing it in the car nonstop since I was
nothing.
10. And
You
then
know
I went up
nothing.
and I sang it wrong, and then the whole 3 minutes go by. I'm thinking Callie would be laughing so hard right now.
100%.
If she was sitting at that table.
Mm-hmm. Your parents, first of all, I'd be sitting with your parents because I love my other family. And second of all, your parents would be like, nobody noticed, and I'd be like, I did. Did you hear me laughing? You messed up.
Yep. Oh my god. I do want you to know that this is hereditary because my dad doesn't know any words to anything.
Oh, I'm so aware.
Either he just makes them right up.
I know.
And then just like he sings his own little song.
I have exactly one time witnessed what I like to call karaoke. It's Dan karaoke. And it's hilarious.
It's so funny. And he's not a bad singer either. He just also doesn't know the words to any song. And I told him that, and he was like, that's mean. And I said, well, you passed it on to me. I can say this to you because you passed it on to me, and I don't know any words to any songs. I would like to say that I know the words to El Tango de Roxanne.
You don't.
But I know that if I were asked to get up and sing it, I would not. I would choke and not know any words to any songs.
Extremely true.
But that's been a fun development this summer. That was unexpected, but kind of fun. I want to do it more.
I love that. And you're inviting me next time.
I am. I will let you know when. I don't know when he gets back. I think it'll be in October. Like, not till October, November when he gets back. So I'll look at his calendar, send you a date.
Perfect.
Send you
Preferably
dates.
not in October. I'm more alive in November. October is a month. Ryan, my husband, has like 7 activities between September and November, and not in October.
Define activities.
I mean, like, it's 3 weddings and college homecoming and a bachelor party and a 5K, and we're gonna go camping. So I guess I have an activity. There's something else. It's too many things.
Oh my god.
I told him he had to say no to 2 of them because it's too many things. I can't do it.
Do you have to attend all of these things? I feel like you would need to attend the bachelor party.
Oh, I'm not invited. It's next weekend. I'm going to see my best friend in Ames, so it works out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Yeah.
See, then you have a different activity.
I planned my own activities after I've been abandoned for men to go drink in public.
There you go.
Anyway.
Sometimes you just gotta plan your own activities. If any of those weekends you have also been abandoned by men going to drink in public and you need an activity to plan, hit me up.
Listen, if it wasn't like week 2 of school, I would have just showed up at your doorstep. However, it's week 2 of school, and I got back from my honeymoon 7 hours before I had to go to professional development.
Dude, that was so crazy. I was very closely monitoring your Snapchat story.
Did you really enjoy that Snapchat experience?
Yes, I felt like I was watching an influencer. I was like, oh my god, what else could possibly go wrong? And then something else would go wrong, and I'd be like, oh my god. And then I didn't realize that your first day of work was like the next day, until you put that, like, mentioned that in your Snap story, and I was like, oh, things just got even more interesting.
Wait till we get to the story of my honeymoon. However, last we left off was week 3 of summer. I was hanging out with Winnie the Pooh, the king of Disney as far as I'm concerned. That was week 3. Week 4,
very true.
A family friend got married. Week 5, we had a week off. Praise the Lord. Week 6, my sister-in-law got married. It was beautiful. Week 7, my sister moved across the country for a job, and I was gifted with the opportunity to help her move. To my sister, I hope you never find this because it's not for you, but that was the worst moving experience I've ever had in my whole life. And then, week 7,
Moving's never fun, to be honest. The most fun part is decorating it, but
no,
the actual moving portion.
It wasn't even fun decorating because it was like 180 degrees inside her apartment because in the state she lives in, landlords aren't required to offer air conditioning. So she had to provide her own air conditioning, but she couldn't install her own air conditioning without her landlord. So it was just 1,000,000 degrees.
Oh my God.
We planned to stay in her apartment and ended up getting a hotel room for 2 days because it was so hot. And my mom and sister both almost passed out on day 1.
Oh my God.
What, Ryan? Listen.
That's
one day I'll tell you the whole story of the worst moving ever. That day isn't today. But wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Was it bad?
Yeah.
Anyway.
That does not sound fun at all.
Horrible.
At all.
Week 7, I helped my sister move. Week 8, I ran a camp at school, and we had a little podcast. You can go listen to it. And then week 9, we took a much-needed break. And then week 10, I got married. Story number 2 is I got married.
Marriage.
The whole, like, experience leading up to my wedding is one for the memory books. It was really fun. A lot of my family is from... Actually, all of our family is from out of state. My husband and I are transplants to the state we live in. We both grew up in the state Riley lives in, but most notably, like, my mom's family all lives in New York. Truly all of them. My grandfather moved around because he was the manager of a Woolworths store, and Woolworths was like another Sears, you know? And they would kind of like relocate their managers every once in a while, and so like my grandfather and my grandmother, while they originally started in New York, were quickly moved to Ohio and Indiana and Illinois and like all these other places, right? So my mom grew up in a very like transient childhood before they eventually settled down in the state where Riley and I grew up in. But all of our family is still in New York, and so they all showed up. And Ryan and I kind of planned on hosting the day before our wedding. Our wedding was on a Friday, so we planned on hosting on Thursday, but the New York family showed up on Wednesday. And at this point, like, Ryan was fully moved out of his apartment and sleeping in my friend Rachel's basement. You know, I was in the house, and it was, like, clean and ready to go. But we ended up having, like, 20 people over on Wednesday night for, like, dinner and liquids and like games and chatting and all these things. And like, well, my dad showed up probably around like, you know, actually my mom showed up probably around like 4 or 5, her and my aunt and my cousins. My dad showed up around like 7, and the New York family showed up around like 8:30. And it was great. It was like so good to see everyone. It was so good to catch up. I had this like beautiful conversation with some of my mom's cousins whom I love. And then, you know, they left. We cleaned the whole house and prepared to do it again the next day. And if like we haven't talked about it already, the wedding reception I hoped for happened on Thursday. So like I wanted to have a big, beautiful, wonderful Catholic mass. I wanted to wear a sundress and Birkenstocks, and like maybe I would brush my hair for my own wedding, you know? And then I wanted to take everyone I knew and loved, so like 30 total people, back to my home, you know, barbecue, lawn games, bonfire, s'mores, just, you know, have a ball with the people in our life who like are with us every day, who we like know and love, and who have supported us in a really like intimate way. My husband's from a big family. My mom really wanted to invite a lot of friends. That's not what my wedding reception ended up being. But we had this like really fun, really wonderful lawn party on the day before my wedding. I mean, you came in. It was amazing. Like, I got to see my sister. My cousins were in town. All of my college friends. I had like 2 big groups of friends in college. Obviously, you and the girls. And then my best friend and all of those friends. And all of them came in. I got to see my favorite kiddos in the whole world. I lost it around of bags. I mean, it was just like the most fun I could have had. When everybody left, I like looked at my mother-in-law and I was like, this was the best day. I think everyone should do this before their wedding. And I think she was like so stressed because she organized a ton of that experience.
Right.
But I had the best time. I was like so oblivious to anything that was going wrong. Like, I had so much fun at my own lawn party.
Right? Well, as you should. You're the bride.
Yeah. And then we went to like mass rehearsal. We had I went to reconciliation and stuff with Ryan afterwards, but then we went to the rehearsal dinner where I witnessed the most inappropriate wedding toasts of all time, save for two. I almost walked out. I'm still really upset about it. It's fine. We knew that was going to happen, right? Like, we knew my wedding with my history was going to go that way. I'm really glad we did them at the rehearsal.
Yes.
Because I did not trust anyone.
If there's a silver lining in that experience, it is that it was done at the rehearsal.
Mm-hmm. I knew. I mean, first of all, I think wedding toasts are the worst. Second of all, I knew that certain people could not be trusted to behave kindly or appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. The other thing that I thought was really cool that you did with the wedding toasts, though, was you had open season. And the friend who did a wedding toast during the open season part did a really great and sweet toast.
She was not my maid of honor, but she really like took a lot of pressure upon herself to like mitigate the difficulty we all anticipated me experiencing. And you and Sam did the same thing, but she planned that toast, I think, ahead of time. The real reason I like offered that time was for my mom. Like my parents have been divorced for 22 years. My parents have been divorced for 22 years. I didn't think it was fair for my dad to speak on her behalf. Like, they deliberately chose to not speak as a unit 22 years ago. And, like, I wanted to give my mom the opportunity to give her own toast. Because I didn't think it was right to let my dad speak for her. And I told her this, like, so I slept in my mom's hotel room the night before the wedding, mainly because my house is 30 minutes away from the wedding venue, and I didn't want to get up earlier. But yeah,
understandably so.
But so I said to my mom, I was like, hey, I just want you to know, like, I'm not upset, but I designed that, like, open toast time for you because I didn't think it was right that you had to let dad speak for you. And she was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. And I was like, I know. I didn't want to tell you that you had to give a toast. I just wanted you to have the opportunity. And she's like, I would have cried the whole time. I wouldn't have been able to get through it. You know how emotional I am. And I was like, no, I know. I just wanted you to know that I thought of you. So we had the rehearsal dinner. It was great. The next morning I woke up and I went to Starbucks to get everyone their favorite drinks because I know my friends well enough to know what their favorite Starbucks drink is. And I'm pretty proud of that. And then we got our hair done. And then we got our makeup done. And then we put dresses on. And then we took pictures. And then my friends had to leave me. Like, that was the hardest part. Like, the moment that you guys had to leave me because I had to stand by myself in the, like, 105-degree heat. Like, waiting to get to enter mass. Like, that's when the nerves... I don't even think it was nerves, right? Like, that's when the, like, hyperactive excitement kicked in. Like, I was ready.
Yeah, big feelings, essentially.
I had some big feelings. Absolutely.
The biggest feelings.
Oh, yeah. I heard the prelude was Be Thou My Vision. So I heard Be Thou My Vision while I was, like, standing outside, and I started singing to myself, and then I started crying to myself, because that's one of my favorite hymns of all time. It's just, like, the words are so beautiful and so, like, intentionally placed about how, like, it literally says, like, be my vision, God. Like, you have my whole heart. Like, lead me to what is good, you know? And, like, as I'm walking down the aisle to my future husband, like, that takes a special meaning, right? And our entrance hymn is my favorite hymn of all time. It's "O God Beyond All Praising," which I think should be sung every day, right? And the whole idea is like, "O God beyond all praising, we worship you today, right? Like we give you everything that we have. Like my favorite line in the whole hymn is like, and whether our tomorrows be filled with good or ill, like through our triumphs and our sorrows we'll rise to bless you still. And like just we're gonna give you everything that we have, like at the very end, except if nothing else, like the praise that we give you, like accept our sacrifice of praise is the last words of the song. And like I said to Rachel, I said I don't want my own entry. I want to enter to this hymn. Like I want to be able to sing it. Like I want to be able to pray it when I'm walking down the altar. And she played the hymn twice. I think she sang the hymn twice. But I sang the whole thing in the back. Like I got to sing every word of the song. It's why they waited so long to send me down the aisle, because I wanted to sing the song. And I got to sing the whole song. So the people in the back rows of church heard me sing that song before I walked down the aisle.
Oh, I would have been crying the whole time. I hope you know.
I was crying while I was...
hear you singing me, I'd be a hot mess. I'd be like, oh my God. Could this be any sweeter? Like, that's really awesome.
I walked down the aisle laughing, but I cried during the whole time I was singing because I like knew what the words meant and I knew what I was trying to do. The photos that my aunt took of me walking down the aisle are hilarious. Like you and my bridesmaids are like crying but smiling. Oh, no. The groomsmen look pissed. Like they don't want to be there. It's so funny.
Oh my God. The one that I walked with, he was like, before we walked down, he turned to me and he goes, "Are you going to cry?" And I was like, "Probably. Are you?" And he goes, "Yeah." And then he just went. And so I was trying really hard not to, but like I failed. And he was also probably trying really hard not to, and succeeded. But as a result, it created a different facial expression. But I want you to know, as we were leaving at the end of Mass, I turned to him as we were walking back down, and I was like, "Did you cry?" And he went, "Oh, yeah."
I love that man. He's so funny. When we were leaving the house after the lawn party, I was like, another wildly patterned shirt. This is exquisite. And he was like, thank you. I am great. And I was like, if only my husband were to be interested in wildly patterned shirts. And he's like, I got you. Say less. I was just like, I love you. Less. You're hilarious.
He was a lot of fun to walk, just like to be the partner of all weekend. All of those guys were really, really nice and funny, and just like a blast to hang out with all weekend long. Anyway, I didn't mean to derail the conversation. You were saying about the pictures of everybody walking down.
No, they're funny. I haven't gotten my wedding pictures back. I like keep waiting for them. But I just can't wait to see. Like when we were taking photos and one of the grooms, she was like, all right, like Callie and Ryan kiss. And okay, you all do whatever. And one of the groomsmen goes, who am I kissing? And like turned to my husband's brother, who's a priest. And it was like, I was laughing so hard. Like it was so funny.
Oh my God. That is hilarious.
It was so good.
It was one of the twins, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Or when they would go, bookends? Bookends?
Bookends? They are so funny. I gotta say this, and I'm sorry but not sorry for saying this. I was low-key kind of sad that both of them were engaged.
I've known them since high school. Everyone's sad that they, like, one of them is marrying his high school sweetheart. The other one is marrying, like, her roommate from college. Like, every person I've ever known, and it's like, they're taken? Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, that was kind of the vibe.
Yeah.
But they were all very funny. It was just, I mean, yeah, it was a very fun weekend with the group of like the wedding party was very fun, and the day was really great. The weather outside,
Frightful.
a little hot.
Oh my
A
gosh,
little hot, a
apparently
little
there was
sweaty.
a tornado during our wedding.
Here in Batavia, because yes.
No, in the place we got married, there was a tornado.
What?
100%. Yeah, none of us knew. I didn't know.
When?
I don't know.
Every time I was outside, it was sunny.
No, tornado.
I mean, it did rain during the reception.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That is nuts.
Anyway, yeah.
That's insane. Oh my god.
My wedding was great. I had a ton of fun. The DJ was kind of
Anyway.
bad, but other than that, it was awesome.
Right? Once we fixed the DJ's situation, it was better.
Oh, yeah.
But that shouldn't have had to happen.
Correct.
Sam and I had, because you had said that you wanted songs that like everybody would dance to. So Sam and I had alarms set on her watch, on her Apple Watch, to go up and request songs at certain times so that they were like evenly sectioned out so that we wouldn't do all of the ones that like are the fun everybody dance alongs to wedding songs all at once and then not have any more. We didn't want to run out. But then he fixed his situation and we were like, thank God.
Yeah, I
Callie
chose.
shouldn't have had to go up and talk to him.
Yeah, what ended up happening is I made the playlist for the rest of the night, so like I spaced them out. But yeah, he was the worst.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was great.
Anyway, it was very fun. It was a great weekend. You were a very beautiful bride. I cried a lot. I cried a lot during the rehearsal. I cried a lot when I saw you walk down the aisle. I cried a lot during the actual wedding.
Case's homily was perfect, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my gosh, it was so. There were just so many beautiful aspects about it. One, you were absolutely stunning in your dress, and your hair, and your veil, and your whole makeup situation.
thank you.
Absolutely gorgeous, absolutely stunning. Your dress was perfect for you. Perfect for you. You could not. I know that I was there for the dress selecting experience.
You were.
And there was a bit of a dilemma between dresses, but this dress was made for you.
Yeah.
It was so absolutely perfect. And then you had the cute colored shoes, the little pop of color, which was very you.
I love them.
The fact that you were getting married in that church was very cool. Just that church is so beautiful, and that's the parish that you belong to, and that you, as far as I know, you consider to be like your fave parish at this time
It's my home, for sure.
in the area, your home parish.
Yeah.
At least in the area that you live. And the other thing that I thought was really cool was with the friend group that you have from school, is that you have accidentally collected a group of people that can be a part of this wedding in ways that not everybody gets to be a part of.
Yeah.
You got to be married by family and your best friend.
And my best
And
friend.
the music in your wedding was done by another one of your best friends.
Oh,
like
yeah.
every part of your wedding was so magical because the people who married you are people that you're already extremely close to. And the people that created the music of the day were also people that you're really close to. So it made it more of an intimate and like foundational experience. Your wedding was probably one of the most beautiful weddings that I've been to because of that. Like that, it made it so special. And it was very fun. It was very fun to be able to spend the weekend with you and celebrate you and celebrate with all of our friends and, family and all of that stuff, but it was a very special day. I hope that you had a great day. And well, weekend.
It was really good.
But it was a great weekend and very, very fun.
Yeah.
And beautiful. And I cried a lot. And I will cry again when I get to see pictures.
I can't wait to like send you photos of that day and just be like, remember this, remember this, remember this.
Right. I have a couple. I want you to know. Somebody was like, do you have any pictures of, Callie's wedding? And I was like, yeah, actually. So I like went on my phone and I thought I did. I thought I took pictures that day. But I took like 4, and 3 of them are of you sitting on the ground in your wedding dress before I joined you on the ground because you just wanted to sit down.
Can I please have those photos?
Yes. So those were the pictures that my family who didn't attend the wedding got to see of you. Was that photo of you sitting on the ground and like dying laughing. I don't even remember what we were laughing about. But very on brand for us for that to be the picture I have. I think it was your sister who took pictures of us on the ground together. But I will send you those pictures.
I'll have to get those from her.
Oh my gosh. Right? I need those.
Mm-hmm.
I need our sit down pictures. It wouldn't be a get together if we didn't sit down on the floor.
No.
Especially in our fancy dresses.
We have to recreate that if you ever get married.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
We're just gonna sit on the floor and like
just die laughing.
Oh my
I
God.
think that was you sat on the floor and it was like a light bulb went off in my brain. I was like, wait, hold on. Don't get up. Somebody get your phone.
I think that was before the first bathroom attempt too. Like I sat down, we laughed a lot, and then I was like, hey, actually I am gonna pee my pants. Please help me.
Right. I got to be the door. I like stood in front of the door and I grabbed my dress and I like held it up to be the door.
Yeah.
I love our friendship so much.
Me too. I really do. I can't wait to repay the favor one day. Be like, excuse me, I am door.
I am the door.
Okay, tell me about your third thing. We've got to move on.
Okay. So my third thing, this kind of funny that this ended up being my last thing. I was always intending to have it on the list, but I forgot that I changed the background of my Microsoft Teams background the last time that I was on. Last time we podcasted,
It was 2 times ago.
Hold on. Was it?
Yes.
I've had this on for a while.
This is our second podcast with.
Wait. With Teams backgrounds?
Yeah. Because it was after, so before the last book club, the podcast before that one, we were dinking around playing with Google Hangouts backgrounds, and then you just kept it.
Oh, is it?
Whereas, like, I show people my ugly office, and I forgot to choose my chair today. I'm so uncomfortable. Yeah, you've had that one for a while, so tell us all about vacation, baby.
I'm going to talk about vacation. The reason I'm talking about my background is because I chose this background because I had just gotten home from vacation, and I had been here to this street. I don't know if this is the actual street that I went to, but it is like really strikingly similar. It's called Rainbow Row, and it's in Charlestown, South Carolina. So I find it very fitting. I was going to change my background when I logged on, and then I was like, actually, I'm going to be talking about Charleston, so I might as well keep it. But my last thing that I want to talk about, hold on, I got a cough, and I need to edit it out later.
We just coughed at the same time.
Sweet. I can edit them both out. So the last thing I want to talk about is kind of around the time that Cal was on vacation. I also went on vacation. We went to Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. So that was the first time I'd ever been to South Carolina. And it was really fun. We went to the beach. We're in Myrtle Beach. But we went to the ocean a lot, which was my favorite. I love the ocean very, very much. I intend to live by it one day. And
No, that's so far away from me.
I know. That's the only thing keeping me away from it, is that it's far away from everybody that I love.
Yeah.
But I very much love walking on the sand and being by the beach. And so that was really fun. We took a lot of long walks down to the beach. And I would pick up little shells and stuff that I would find. There were some people who were doing shell hunts and had metal detectors that were walking the beach, which was really cool. Only downside to that is day one, my mom and I walked down from where we were staying, which ended up being 3 miles away. She said it was much, much closer. And so we walked down 3 miles and we walked back 3 miles, and I pulled a muscle in my calf because I'm not used to power walking 6 miles.
Riley.
I was lied to.
No.
So that was kind of fun. I pulled muscle all trip. And everybody insisted on walking everywhere, which was really, really fun for me. But anyway, I still like walking on the beach, and we went to the shopping center that was there and tried a bunch of cool restaurants. I ate a lot of seafood, which is my fave.
Yeah.
And my favorite part of the trip wasn't actually Myrtle Beach. Being on the beach was one of my favorite parts. But my favorite part was that I got to see a couple of different towns in the Carolina region. So on our drive down the first day, we spent a night in Asheville, North Carolina, which was really cool. And we didn't get to spend a lot of time there. I wish we had spent more, like a whole weekend there. But it had a lot of really cute little shopping stores. Reminded me of Galena a little bit with the kind of stores that were down there. And we stayed at this it was a restaurant that was in an old building. I can't remember what the original use of the building was. But they had basically restored that building to its original glory. So they didn't completely redo the inside. It had old pictures of the original owners that were very, very clearly old pictures. They had an old car out front. So it was really cool. Again, it was an old city that was near the beach. So a lot of history there that I wish we could have stayed and learned more about. But then when we were staying in Myrtle Beach, one day we decided to take a drive down to Charleston, South Carolina. And we squeezed in a lot of stuff when we were there. We were only there for a day, but we went to Rainbow Row, which is my picture, which are old houses that were built in the 17 and 1800s that have been restored. And they're huge. They're massive houses. And they're really cool that they've got plaques all in the front if they were owned by somebody who was historical, or if they had just a general history, the year that they were built, which like I said, some of them were built in the 1700s, which was really, really neat. And then we went to this little city market, which it's like a farmer's market indoors, but the biggest farmer's market I've ever seen in my life.
That's so cool.
It was massive. It probably spanned 10 plus blocks. It was enormous. And there was an upstairs that had a little bit of a history museum vibe. So we went up and kind of checked that out when we were done. We stayed we went to a restaurant for lunch, and it was I don't remember what the restaurant was called. It had something to do with a lion, but we found it online. It was kind of reasonable. And so we walked there. It was kind of by where our car was. And every inch of that restaurant, from floor to ceiling, was covered in dollar bills that people had stapled to the wall. It was insane. Everybody had like drawn or written on those dollar bills and then stapled them to the wall. So my dad took out his wallet and it was like they can identify the wrestling of like money in a wallet. And so they like immediately brought us over a stapler and markers and they were like, oh, do you want to staple something to our wall? And we were like, yes. So my dad took out a $1 bill and I wrote on it and like drew little things and decorated it, and then we stapled it next to where we were sitting. It was really, really, really cool. I wish we had, again, that's another town I wish we had spent more time in. Funnily enough, I've been like watching videos and researching more about it recently because I wanted to learn more about the history of it. Mm-hmm. At some point, George Washington went to mass in one of the churches there. Fort Sumter is there. It has a lot of Civil War history, a lot of really negative Civil War history. But I wish we had spent I wish we could spend a weekend down there and just like get to explore. There's a lot of really cool walking paths. There's a lot of beaches. There's some military memorabilia down there. Like there's an old aircraft carrier from World War I and an old submarine from the Civil War. Didn't know that was a thing in the Civil War, but I guess they had submarines. So really, really cool. There were like authentic cobblestone roads. They still had like, they would give tours to people that would be done via a horse and buggy, which was really, really neat. So they really kept a lot of the history of that town alive. There are definitely really modern areas of that city, but the areas that were like first settled and established in that town, they really have restored and kept the authenticity of the history of it. So it was really cool to be able to visit a town like that. You know me very well and my thoughts about historic towns. Brick buildings, cobblestone streets, all those things. I took lots of pictures. And
I need to see them.
Yeah, it was a fun trip.
I love that.
Yeah, I'll send those to you. My mom, all pictures. Very fun. I would go back in a heartbeat just to be able to explore some more and see some of the different areas of the historic district. We didn't get to explore that so much because we were only there for like half a day. It was 3 hours away from where we were staying in Myrtle Beach. So it wasn't like it wasn't like it was 20 minutes away and we could spend the whole day there. We needed to get back at a reasonable hour, but yeah, it was a fun trip. It was cool to be able to see that I've never been east before. Well, that's not true. I went to New York once, but to Cooperstown. But I've never been to like on vacation to an eastern state, and I definitely want to see more of it. But that was thing 3. I know you've got one more thing, and I'm thinking it also has to do with a recent trip that you took.
It does. So, surprise, surprise. After we got married, we went on our honeymoon. Sorry, I'm eating ice cream cake. We're very Catholic people. We went to Rome, Assisi, Siena, and Orvieto on our honeymoon. A little Italian pilgrimage. And we started off our honeymoon with a real bang. When we got to Rome, I hadn't slept in 4 days, and I hadn't eaten in over 24 hours. So I got sick.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my, oh yeah, duh.
We went exploring the first day. I felt super sick the next day, and the third day I woke up just unable to move. I was like, I am ill. And that was okay. I slept, we rested, it was great. I read a book. I promised one of my students that I would read the entire Percy Jackson series over the summer, so I did that while I was sick and traveling.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's been fun. But we went to Siena after our first probably couple days in Rome, and then Siena's like one of my favorite places I've ever been. It's just this medieval Italian city. St. Catherine of Siena is from there, so we got to Siena, and the first night we found this like allergy-friendly restaurant, and the restaurant was literally like I was looking at St. Catherine's home the whole time we were eating dinner. Like I could take 10 steps and touch it. So we went to tour her home after dinner, and then we just kind of headed back. Our hotel had this like rooftop bar that overlooked the city, and it was just so beautiful. And my favorite thing about Siena, obviously other than like being close to one of my spiritual heroes, was just that we had a place to end our nights. Like there was this beautiful rooftop bar. It was right in our hotel. We could overlook the city. We could just sit and unwind. Like it was beautiful. The first day we were there, it was like raining, and we got to see a double rainbow over the city. Like it was just like so peaceful and wonderful. It was so cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah. We just like
That's wow.
we walked around the city every day.
That's not like
Yeah. We walked around the city every day, and just got to see like different places that like St. Catherine lived or prayed. We got to see the basilica and the cathedral, which they've really turned more into a museum than like a worship space. So that was a little disappointing, but we got to walk around in different like shops and through the piazza where they do the famous horse races, and it was just like this really wonderful, peaceful time. And we went from there to Assisi, which is this other like small medieval town, where we got to see like the place where Saint Clare of Assisi like had that famous Eucharistic miracle of like turning away the invading troops because she held the monstrance out of the window, and instead of seeing like a lonely nun with a monstrance, they saw armies ready to defend the city. And we got to see like St. Francis's grave and the places that they prayed, and just all these other things. It was so cool. When we were going around the shops in Assisi, we met these two local artists who were just like so wonderful and boisterous and fun, and we came home from Italy with like these beloved 4 pieces of art from these like tiny local artisans, and one of them taught us all about how to make frescoes. Like you have 24 hours to paint the plaster after you put the plaster on, or you can't paint the fresco anymore. And like it was just great. It was so fun and so wonderful.
oh wow.
Yeah. After that, we went back to Rome, and we had a papal audience. We were attendants at the papal audience, but the Pope does newlywed blessings. So as long as you let them know you're coming and you bring your wedding dress, the Pope will bless you. And so I got to meet and shake hands with Pope Francis, like the Pope. There's like a photo of me holding his hand. I waited to tell you so that I could tell you while we were recording.
Are you kidding?
Do I look like a woman who's kidding? You can't see me. I'm not kidding.
I can't see your face. That is insane. Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Oh, wow. What an awesome blessing to receive.
I have now been blessed by the Pope twice.
I mean, no pun intended, but like, wow. That's so cool.
Yeah.
You have... That's so cool.
It was so cool.
I'm floored by that. That's really, really neat.
Yeah, it was so cool. I cried the whole time. I love the Pope so much. Like,
yeah, I'm just like I would have been.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really...
Wow.
like surreal. We went to mass after that. Like we went into the Vatican to have mass because they were doing a mass for like religious pilgrims, which was us.
Mm-hmm.
We met these other pilgrims while we were waiting for the whole thing to start, and they were just so wonderful and kind. And they were like, if you're ever in San Diego, like, please come visit us. Like, can we exchange phone numbers? We want to pray for you. Like, they were just so beautiful and wonderful.
Oh, that's
yeah,
so sweet.
they were amazing. We saw all the major basilicas in Rome. We took a day trip to Orvieto, which is just this other small medieval town where like a Eucharistic miracle happened. Like one time the Eucharist turned into literal flesh and blood. And we got to like see the place where that happened, and the like altar cloth, which still had the evidence of that on it. We got to see this, I think it's St. Patrick's Well, but it's just this like huge windowed well built into the side of this mountain. We got to do tours under the city. So Orvieto is a city where I think there isn't a lot of space, but they needed more space, so they built a network of tunnels underground. There's over 1,200 tunnels. And like they were used for different things over the years, but like at one time they were like bomb shelters, or the way that the Etruscan people would stay safe before the Romans took over. Like they evaded Roman capture for 2 years because of these tunnels under the city. And even like the Italian people during different wars like carved holes in the walls of them so that pigeons could nest, because pigeons feed themselves, and pigeons were very valuable at one time, and like people were able to maintain or gain wealth by selling pigeons during one of the times. And like there are over 1,200 tunnels. I think we went into like 10 of them. Most of these tunnels are like still attached to people's homes or businesses and used as like workshops or cellars or storage or like all these other things. It was so cool. It was so interesting. Then we, on our last day in Rome, before, you know, the 9-hour plane delay, we went to a church where they very famously have what's called the Scala Sancta. It means holy stairs.
Mm-hmm.
They were taken from Jerusalem to Rome by, I think, St. Helen. But I don't really remember who moved them. These are the stairs that were in the Roman court that Pontius Pilate served in. So Jesus walked up and down them when he was getting condemned to die. And so we crawled up them on our knees, like the same stairs that our Lord walked up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It was so incredible. Like the graces of our honeymoon are like still unfolding, but we just had so many like beautiful, prayerful experiences over that time, you know?
That's so incredible. I'm like speechless by the experiences that you have. I can't even imagine being there. I would have been like just breathless the whole time. That's amazing. Wow, what a cool experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's such a perfect honeymoon too for you guys.
I know. It was great. Anyway, and then I got delayed 9 hours and came back to school.
That's so incredible too, like the grind. Hopefully you slept on the plane or in the car.
I didn't. Thank you for asking.
No?
No.
I was sure you would sleep in the car.
No, don't be insane. I mean, I know I always sleep in the car, but of course not when I needed to.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Have you slept since then?
I gotta be honest with you. Only a little bit.
Kelly.
Listen, you spend like all your life as a Catholic woman being told that like boys are bad and they can't sleep in your home. But now a boy
Yeah.
is supposed to sleep in my home. And, like, you can't go from, like, all that time of no, not allowed to, like, woohoo, this is a normal, acceptable part of
Right.
our lives. Like, that's a big change to cognitively make.
Oh, I can imagine.
Like, the first
Yeah.
probably, like, week that we got back from our honeymoon and we lived in the house, I would wake up every day in the middle of the night and, like, smack my husband and be like, you have to leave. You can't stay here. You have to leave. And he's like, we are married. I live here.
Live.
I'm not leaving. I am supposed to live here now. You are who you are now. Like, your name is changed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But after I
That's
got over that,
hilarious.
I've been sleeping a
Yeah,
lot
I
more.
can imagine that being an adjustment.
Yeah. Anyway.
I can just imagine him waking up in confusion and being like, "We got married.
I live here.
I am your husband now. I'm supposed to be here, right?"
He has always been very aware, like, this is my home. And I live here.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, me on the other hand, I'm like, who are you? Leave.
Who is this? Get out of here. Get out of here. Go back to your apartment.
Your twin bed's in my closet.
Oh,
you take
man.
that and go.
It sounds like a really amazing honeymoon. You had so many magical trips.
Yeah. It was really great.
Sleep in the guest room. Ah.
All right. On that note, that's our whole big summer.
That's awesome.
If you're still here,
We had an eventful summer, as you can hear and see.
if you're still here, I'm not sure why. See you never. Bye.
Bye. All the way till the end. No! That's crazy. That's weird that it doesn't keep up. We're just too fast. We have too many thoughts in the brain. Oh my god, it's talking about the Pope. Would be just like screaming in excitement. I'm still so floored by that. I'm gonna tell Dan. He's gonna be so jealous. He's gonna be so excited for you guys. I can just imagine it. I'll film it. And I'll go, Callie met the Pope, and he'll go, "Oh, no kidding." Those will be his exact words. Really? Right? I'm not gonna send them to him. I'm gonna just like show them to him in person and be like, "Look at what Callie did on her trip." I need to see his reaction in person. Oh my gosh. That's a great picture. Oh yeah, as you should be. Ryan looks so like awestruck in that photo. He just looks like he can't believe he's sitting across from the Pope right now. Yeah. That's an amazing photo. That could be like, wow, what a cool experience. Yes. The couple next to you is really cute too. They're both looking at the Pope like, oh my God, I can't believe it's the Pope. Right? Well, there's a guy on the other side of the